I see more people dress up as the costumes when they go over to see a movie, because it's like, it's not an event, it's a gathering of everybody. So everybody knows what Star Wars is. It's a household name.
I think Star Wars speaks to something that's at the core of all people. And I think that that's partially why Joseph Campbell's work was so influential on Lucas, is because he was able to find that thing that speaks to our core, each and every one of us. And so great epic myths like Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Harry Potter, the reason that they resonate with such a wide swath of the population is because it specifically is able to tug at those heartstrings that for a lot of people don't get moved on an everyday basis.
When Star Wars came out, it was really something kind of new and incredible. It takes that sci-fi, great elements of sci-fi. We have martial arts with the Jedi, a little bit of supernatural with the Force as well. There's a little bit of fantasy in there for everyone.
It had action, it had a love interest, it had heartfelt things and familial ties. It kind of addressed everything while still being action and sci-fi. And it was such a new way of experiencing film. I remember my dad told me he was one of the people that camped out in a tent the nights before the film would come out in theaters. And he said that once the words drifted off screen and a huge spaceship just drifted overhead, everyone in the theater was just blown away because no one had ever seen anything like that before. Special effects were by no means what they are today. And so it was just such an experience, and it kind of changed how movies are watched. That I think that so many other films have drawn off of that and worked off of that you kind of have to go back and see that original series in order to appreciate where we've come from there.
Yeah, I remember one of my Chapman professors saying that you have a good story when you can take out all of the supernatural and fantastical elements and still have a story.
It stirred box office, it stirred conversations, it stirred lore, it stirred merchandise. It did so big and it's so giant from when it first came out to where I don't even think I have the answer to that question, because it's so much bigger than how I feel about it.
At its foundation, it's a story about hope, and I think a lot of people like believing that no matter what kind of situation you end up in, you can persevere, get past it, no matter what happens.
I don't know who shot first. Everyone is always like, oh Han, no Greedo, oh Han, Greedo. You know who shot first? It's up to you. It's up to your imagination. I mean, I don't know.
Greedo. Isn't it Han? I thought... Isn't it Han? I don't know. It should be Han.
It depends on what release you're looking at. I think they said in the original 1977 release, there were only Han shot. And then in the new special edition that was released in 1997, when they kind of went over, they made Jabba the Hutt actually a monster before he was just a fat man. So like a bunch of things were added in that they added in the additional shot. So it really depends on what cut you're looking at.
In my opinion, I would like to think that that Greedo shot first. Just because if Han shot first and just shot Greedo, it just made him seem like a bad character in the first place. But I get like the canonity of it, and like the original cut had Han shoot first and so.
Han, don't come to me with that Greedo first.
Han shot first.
Oh, Greedo, get out of here. Han shot first. Han will always be the person that shot first. Who shot first? Han shot first. That's who.
No questions.
George Lucas. I don't think it matters.
So I had the lightsaber.
I probably owned most of the lightsabers that came out.
We had, I guess, like lightsabers and stuff. Those plastic lightsabers.
I built my own lightsaber on this this website. It cost me almost $800 to build.
Probably the one thing that I collected when Star Wars came out was little Revenge of the Sith action figures. I used to love General Grievous. He was one of my favorite villains.
The lightsaber was my favorite until the BB-8 came out, the big one. So I thought about getting the smaller one,
But then the big one, as expensive as it is, it's pretty cool.
Star Wars Legos, I got the very first Lego Star Wars set they made, which was the Qui-Gon Darth Maul battle. It's this little tiny set, and that's the first one. I always liked it, and it had really cool lightsabers. And I always got it. I got into collecting a lot of Star Wars Lego.
It was mostly droid action figures themselves. It was mostly ships that I loved the most. I loved the Millennium Falcon. I probably owned like 6 different types of the Millennium Falcon. I had like it was like the Simon Says Millennium Falcon that would have like quotes, and you'd have to match them up with each other. I had like the toy Millennium Falcon that you'd press the back button and it would make like the whooshing sound. I went to Disneyland a lot when I was younger, and I bought like a whole bunch of the custom lightsabers stuff, so I probably still have them somewhere in my room.
I do own a couple of action figures and a couple of movie posters.
Growing up, every Christmas was every Lego set. I just got that new Rise of Skywalker Millennium Falcon. It's my first Millennium Falcon Lego set, so that was kind of